Thank you, Anna. Folks are still trickling in, but welcome to our InnovateQA virtual meetup. InnovateQA is a community of quality professionals who are passionate about product quality, test tools, test automation, and so on. So we host meetups. If this is your first meetup, we host meetups, in-person meetups in Seattle once a month, and we're doing virtual meetups for anyone who can join over the world around once a month as well. So we usually post the recordings after the meetup. So if you missed it, you can always watch that. So thanks for joining our December virtual meetup. Today, Sparsh Shrivastava is going to be presenting and talking about Playwright. And I'm going to have my co-host Anna introduce Sparsh.
Let me turn the I want to turn my video on. Hi everyone. Welcome to our second international speaker meetup. We are very excited to welcome today Sparsh Shrivastava. He is joining us from Jaipur. He is very known name in Jaipur because he is also meetup organizer. But besides that, he is a QA engineer with expertise in web application testing, API testing, skilled in Playwright with TypeScript, Selenium WebDriver, and automation framework development. All the hottest skills on the market. Sparsh is an expert on those. Sparsh is an advocate for Agile methodologies, and he constantly enhances his knowledge on cutting-edge tools and testing strategies. And he is also a community speaker and a trainer. I mentioned that. And as a community speaker, he shares insights on QA trends and thrives on fostering collaboration and learning, which is obviously very important for QA to be in collaboration with the team members and all their cross-functional teams. Sparsh is passionate about connecting with professionals and making a meaningful impact in the QA and automation space. And today we welcome Sparsh to talk about the hottest tool on the market, the Playwright. And welcome, Sparsh. Please introduce yourself, and we're looking forward to learn from you today. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Anna, for this warm introduction. Thank you so much for inviting me for this meetup so that I can share my insights, my experience, and like whatever we can discuss regarding QA. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for giving this platform. So hello, everyone. I hope I am visible to all of you. So and I hope that you all are doing good. So here we are going to discuss today about the hottest tool in the market, which is Playwright, and how it makes our life easier, how we can do the test automation with that, what all are the goodness that comes with Playwright. So we'll get to know, we'll understand the concept, the basic concept, what are the advantages with this provides. So okay, then let me start. So let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, thanks. Okay, so as this title says, get to know Playwright. We will go and we'll go with this, and we'll understand that what are the basic concepts of Playwright, what are the challenges that comes, and how Playwright resolves it, how Playwright resolves those things for us. So let me introduce myself a bit. So I am a QA automation specialist at OneClick LCA. OneClick LCA is a Finland-based company which works on sustainability and eco-friendly designs for buildings, and it provides eco-friendly materials so that so that we can get an environment friendly buildings, environment friendly offices, and some more stuffs. I am also a community leader at Jaipur QA community, so I organize few events where we do some in-person meetups related to QA technologies and strategies. Apart from that, I am also a QA trainer from the last few years. So I like train people, I teach people for uh, entering into the manual testing, entering into the automation testing, switching, and like any stuff what they want. So this is all about me. And yeah, apart from that, there is one more thing which actually leads me to bring this topic up. That as I am working with Playwright since 2021, and I played a lot around this browser automation and like different tools. So as it is the newest topic, and when I started, there was very less help. There were very less videos on Playwright. So somehow I like learned it from the official website of Playwright, and with some of my inspirations, you could say. And they were the people who used to do some POC on these topics. So Playwright was one of those. So I learned from those as well. So okay, so let's just get started. So first of all, everyone thinks that that end-to-end testing is actually a great idea. And like you can do your front end testing, you can do your back end, database, and hosting, everything you can test together, like an entire stack you can go through. And apart from that, also you can actually mimic the behavior that the end user will have when they'll use your application. So all the time while do you do end-to-end testing, it is always a good idea. But when someone writes the first E2E tests, it is actually uh, terrible, you can say. It actually becomes a disaster. Why? Because we write a lot of tests, and sometimes these are like very hard to write, or you could say it takes a lot of time, sprint by sprint by sprint. We work on this, our team works on this, and finally, what we get? Some slow tests, some flaky tests, lengthy tests. This is what we get in return. So this is the usual things that comes when we use any tool, and any conventional tool which is in the market, and they are very much famous for these kind of these problems. And we usually face these problems that our tests are very slow. It takes like 30 minutes, 1 hour to run the entire suite. And most of the time we see that the tests are very lengthy as well because of the workflow. We can separate it. We can divide those tests in like few. But again, while doing this, what we see is the flaky tests. Flaky tests, we can understand in that way, like when we run a suite, one of like few of our tests got failed because of some slow loading, because if some element was not present at that time. But when we run it, like when we run the whole suite again, it again takes the full time. And what we see that those failed tests, which were nothing to do with the automation code. I mean, there was no such code which was wrong. They also got failed. Okay, but in the next run, they get passed. So these tests are known as flaky tests, and actually we get some false positives. Now, like while discussing this with the teammates, while discussing this with the team, what we see is that as we have invested so much of time, we don't want to let it go, but we don't want to do it as well, because the tests are hard to write. And what's the harder part is the debugging, and also to check what are the false positive, right? So if we see these kind of problems, usually we say that we can run our tests whenever they are needed. So we usually end up with this discussion that we should run the test on demand, right? Now, as this thing happen, we see that the gap increases in the like execution of the test suites. Sometimes we run like twice in a week, then we run once in a week, then week once in 2 weeks, and this is how we just give up and set back. So this is the whole story when we use some conventional tools, we get some and we get these kind of results. But there was a strong tool that was invented by Google. So they invested their time into it, they invested their resources, and finally they came up with a tool called Puppeteer. It was a strong tool. Actually a solid step to come up with, and this tool was handling the Chrome browser very efficiently. So this was all over in the market, all over in the IT industry, and it was very nice tool to automate the Chrome based browsers, right? Like Chromium, we have Chrome, we have Microsoft Edge. But after that, uh, I think you all might have already guessed that a tool from the Microsoft appeared, and its name was Playwright. So Playwright is was an amazing invention, you could say, and it is actually a great tool. And what all the goodness comes with it, we will just understand in the coming slides. So let me introduce Playwright with the shortest definition. So Playwright is actually a Node.js library which is made for browser automation. It is free and open source, and it is backed up by Microsoft. So this is the basic definition of Playwright. And why do I say that it is backed up by Microsoft? Because there was a team which was working in Google, and this was the team which was working on the tool called Puppeteer. Then later on, while working, in the meantime, these guys moved to Microsoft, and they became the Playwright team. So having the expertise of Puppeteer, they were so much experienced. They have the experience like uh, for so many years working on some tool. They they were second. Okay, so they were very responsive for like resolving the bugs, and also they were the great problem solver. Also, while working on some ticket, their triage time was less than 48 hours. So it includes like managing, categorizing the bugs, and giving the solution, working on it, and then provide a seamless experience to their end users, their end customers. So this was their goal, and this much experienced team has invented this Playwright. Now, as we go deep into the Playwright thing, we will see that it supports three browser engines. These browser engines are, first is uh, WebKit, which supports Apple Safari. Second one is Gecko browser, which supports Firefox, and the third one is Chromium, which supports Chrome-based browser like Chrome, Chromium, Microsoft Edge. Right. So overall, Playwright supports all the browsers that we use. Second, it supports most popular languages like Java, JavaScript, TypeScript, .NET, and so on. Apart from that, it also supports multiple operating system, and it is like Mac OS, Linux, and Windows, which are the like most popular operating systems. So like we can say that Playwright is actually cross everything, right? Now, what do I mean by cross everything? It means that you can run your test on Chrome, on Mac machine using JavaScript. Either you could use Firefox with your Linux machine with .NET or Python or any language. Similarly, you can do it like Safari on Mac with TS, Safari on Windows with .NET. Now, I know that it sounds a bit confusing that how we can run Safari on Windows machine, right? But yes, it is possible while working with Playwright that we can actually use the experience of Apple Safari on our Windows machine, on our Linux machines as well, right? How it does this? Because it does not run the the overall tests on any particular browser. It uses the browser engines that Playwright provides. So when we talk about the Playwright engine WebKit, that WebKit is actually responsible to run the tests on an environment of Apple Safari. So when I'll show the demo, I'll show you that how it looks like, and this is what we say that this is how we can say that this is a window machine and it is running uh, something on Apple Safari. Okay. Fine. So this is all about the Playwright using multiple browsers, multiple operating system, and multiple languages. So let's just install it. Let's just see what we need to install the Playwright. And if you guys are ready with your laptops, I think you can do this with me. So basically, we need three things. First is Node.js. Second is your code editor, and third is the Playwright. Okay, so the very first thing is we should go to nodejs.org. This is the official website. From here, we can download Node.js. Okay, so while clicking here and then going next, install, you can simply install the Node.js in your system. So I have already installed it. It is already in my system. So you can see this Node.js. Also, after installing it, you can go to your command prompt and like terminal and your Mac machine, and we can simply give as node-v to check our node version. It gives me the version, which means that uh, that node is already installed in your machine. So after installing it, you can simply go to your terminal, your command prompt, and you can check whether it is installed or not. So this is the first step. Second step, you need to download any code editor. So Visual Studio Code is something which runs better with the languages like TypeScript, JavaScript. So VS Code is the best option. So we can download VS Code from here. You can download it for Windows, Linux, and your Mac machines. Okay, I already have that VS Code. So this is the first thing. This is the second thing. Now we need to open VS Code. So this is how it looks. Okay. Now just watch carefully that how to create your new project, how to install Playwright in your system. For that, I would like to open the File Explorer, and you can go to any folder. You can create uh, a new folder here. Okay, so let's say Innovate Playwright. Second Playwright. Okay, so this is my folder. right? I have just simply created it in my C drive. I need to go to the VS Code. We can click on open folder from here, or we can go to file. We can go to open folder, and we can simply go to the folder that we have created, like Innovate Playwright. Select this folder. Okay. So you can see that folder, this folder is here. Now what we need to do, we should go to terminal, open a new terminal. From here, simply run this command. I'll share this in chat as well. It is npm init playwright. So this is this one single command which we need to run to install the playwright in our system. Okay, you can use playwright at the rate latest as well, but as of now it is not needed. Okay, so we can simply run this npm init playwright. Just hit and enter. Okay, so it is getting started with writing end-to-end tests with Playwright. First, we need to select the language. So I am selecting the language as TypeScript. So I'll just hit and enter. Where do you put your end-to-end tests? So I'll provide a name of the folder. So let's say it is tests. Then hit and enter. Add a GitHub action workflow if you want it to directly connect with CI/CD. So you can create a file here. If not, you can ignore as of now. But let's see for future use, if we want to use it. So just type Y, install Playwright browser. Okay, so now once I press Y, it will automatically start downloading the browsers that comes with the browser engines. So I'll press Y, and now it has started downloading some browsers. It will take hardly, okay, it is already done, I guess. Yes, now it's done. So within 10 seconds, you can see that the Playwright is installed in your system, right? And you can see a complete folder structure, including the git ignore, including your GitHub YML file. You can see you don't need to do anything here. You just need to run one command and answer few questions one by one. And that's how it's done. Just give me a second. Let's get back to our PPT. Okay, so I mean this was this much easy to install the Playwright. Okay, now let me give you the some information about the npm init Playwright. So this is the command. I just shared it in the chat. You can copy it, you can save it. Okay, so let's move to some cool perks which Playwright provides. That I always say that it is the goodness of Playwright. So first thing is it can automatically download the browsers, which we have just seen. It has some built-in parallel execution thing. If we talk about some tools, some automation tools like Selenium, we need to do, we need to go to some external library files like testng. There we need to set up what kind of class we need to run in parallel, what kind of methods we want to run in parallel. That is actually a great thing. But when it comes to Playwright, it it is actually more easier. Okay. Then third one is we have the retry mechanism. Then we have inbuilt screenshot and video recording uh, like advantages with Playwright. Apart from that, it can simulate the devices, it can simulate the locations and locales and the time zones. And another cool part is this code generator and debugger. Okay, so let's see one by one. Downloading the browsers, you could see here that it was downloading the Chromium, it was downloading Firefox, and somehow it was downloading WebKit as well. This one. Okay, this is the one, WebKit. Okay, so these are the three browser engines which it downloads automatically using that single command. Now, this is the retry mechanism. So if your tests get flaky, you can retry it by using this single statement like retry colon 3. That's it. Okay. So you can give the number as how many times you want to retry your test. It can be 2, it can be 4, it can be 8, anything. Okay. So this is a bit easier in Playwright. If we talk about the parallel tests, we can simply give the number of workers we want, and we will also see this while I introduce my demo for the Playwright tests. Okay, so you can limit the number of workers on CI as well as you can define it locally here. The third one is recording the video. So this is the like we can say very easy to get statement which we can use for video recording. So we can use it like video on first retry, video on failure, video every time. Right. So this is how we can continue with recording the video. This is the device simulation where we can select the locale, we can select the time zone, we can select any device. So there is a huge list of device which is inbuilt with Playwright. Okay, you can select anyone. This is the very cool part, which is code generator. So here, what I was doing, I was going to Google Chrome. I was searching about some Playwright automation tool, and at the same time, this is the Playwright inspector, which was creating the code for me for whatever action I was doing. So this is the code generator, which actually comes with Playwright. And I'll let you know what is the official website of Playwright where you can get this and get the more detailed information there, how we can use it and how beneficial it is. Okay. But there is one thing which I'll definitely mention that if you have a complete framework setup, then I think you should write your code yourself. This code generator can help you while learning the Playwright. Okay. So this is very nice thing to learn with and to start with. Code generator is actually beneficial. Okay, so let's get into the demo. So we have already created this folder structure. We can go to tests folder, which we have given while answering these questions. See, we have the tests folder here. Okay, inside that we have an example test. Okay, now, so is this code clearly visible to all? You can give a thumbs up if it is.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, cool. So we can see that we have two tests by default. This is the first one, this is the second one, and it is going to some URL, and then it is it is doing some assertions, and it is checking whether this page has the title Playwright. Okay, so this is like one of the assertions. In this test, we are going to this URL, we are going to this element, and we are doing this click. Then we are going on a second page where we are checking this element and checking the visibility of this element. So this is all about the tests. So this is how we can go through and read what the test is. Okay. Now we'll open the terminal again. Now, how to run this test? First, I'll simply run the test, and we'll see that how it runs. Okay, then we'll go a bit deeper into these tests. Okay, so for running the test, you can write npx playwright test. So this is the simple command for running all the tests of whatever folder you have created within. Right, so I'll just hit enter. You can see the 6 tests are running with 4 workers. Okay, so the workers are the same, which we were just seeing regarding the parallel tests, right? Now, by default, the Playwright test runs in headless mode. What does it mean? That you will not see the browsers. And you can see that how fast it is. Okay, it has completed the tests within 18 seconds. Okay, and it has run all the 6 tests, right? But I mean, you might think that we have only 2 tests, how it is showing us 6. Okay, so I'll explain that part as well. First, let me run it in headed mode. For that, we just need to do hyphen headed. Okay, this is what we need to add. So I'll share these commands with you. So I'll just hit enter. Now we'll see something on Chrome. Okay, so this is the test. It is running on multiple browsers. And now this is the WebKit. Okay, I'll show it again. So this is how. See, in UI mode, in headed mode, it took 23 seconds. In headless mode, it took 18 seconds. So running the tests in headless mode is actually a bit faster. So this is the default thing which comes with Playwright. Okay, now I'll go one by one with few more concepts. So the first thing is locators. Okay, now you can see as we generally go to the locator, we see that we have XPaths, we have CSS selectors, we have IDs, we have class, and this is how we have like 8 types of locators. But apart from this, Playwright provides some cool locators, and these are await page dot get by. So these are some locators which Playwright provides. It is get by label, get by placeholder, get by role. Get by role is used here. Get by test ID, get by text, get by title. So these things are actually the attribute of any element. So we can see it in, let's say, this website. So go to inspect, go to any element, go to any link. Let's say this is the link. Okay, let's go to this link. Fine. We have this ID, we have this class, and we have this text, right? So what we can do is, and we have this role as well. Okay. So here, if we choose any link by role, we can select link. If we want to choose anything by ID, then we need to go with these conventional locator. But Playwright provides some inbuilt locators where we can use this role as well, which is not actually a locator that can be used with Selenium, Cypress, or maybe Puppeteer, right? So this is something which Playwright provides. Apart from that, let's say we have some data test ID. So let me search for it. Data test. It does not have data test. No, it does not have any data test ID. But okay, we have a few more things like placeholder, and we have seen the role. So let's search for placeholder. Okay, so in this element, we have the placeholder. So if you want to search for this element, which is highlighting right here, if you want to search for this, we can go with the placeholder as well. Okay, so there are some advantages while using multiple locators. Okay, apart from that, we have one more mechanism, which is the debugger. Okay, for that, we have 2 ways. First, you can run your test like this, hyphen headed and hyphen debug. So it will run our tests in debug mode. Okay, so this is the Playwright inspector which gets open when I want to debug my tests step by step. Okay, so this is my code. This is the browser. What I'll do, I'll click on next. So it will go to this step. Okay, so it has given me that, okay, I am on this URL, just hit the next. When I'll hit next, it will actually, assert something, which is like to have title, and it has ended the test. Now it has come to the second one. If I click next, okay, so it is on this line. Now, see how cool it is that it is showing me that this is the next step. And I have written this locator, that link name is get started. This is actually highlighting this. Okay. So if again I click next, it will go to the next step. Now it will check that this is the heading, name is installation, and it needs to check this two visible thing. Okay. So if I'll hit next, okay, it is passed. Then it will go to the next set of tests. Okay, so this is how it goes. Now, this test is for like Firefox. Okay, so if I'll click next, again next, it is done. This is the second test. So if our test is failing somewhere, we can do this exercise like going step by step, and we can continue to check our test very efficiently. So this is something which is inbuilt. Now, let's come to this WebKit. So this is actually the WebKit engine, and this is how we can run any Playwright test on a Safari environment when we are working on Windows machine. Okay, click next. This is the Safari engine. Okay, click next. It's done, and this is the last set. So click next, click next, click next. That's it. Okay, cool. Now let me just tell you guys one last thing, that why these 6 tests are running, because we were using some projects that is on Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. It was using the desktop Chrome, which we have seen. It was using the Firefox, which we have just seen, and this is for the Safari. So 2 tests were running with this, 2 with this, 2 with this. That's how we have total 6 tests which were running. Okay, so I think that's it from my end. And like this was overall about the demo. And we can say that in a nutshell, Playwright is really awesome. It is like loaded with some cool features, some fast features, and some debugging technologies, which is really awesome. So thank you from my end, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can scan this QR.
Thank you, Sparsh. This was very informative. And let's see, we had a few questions in chat. And anyone else, please raise your hand if you have any questions, or type your questions in chat. So let's see, let's take this one first. Do you use page object model pattern or anything else for Playwright?
So I think page object model is the best approach for testers. So yes, we use page object model.
All right. The next question is, what automation tools um, what automation tools do you recommend for non-web based AUT? I don't know what the AUT
Okay.
is. Uh-huh.
So, okay, so when it is non-web based, majorly it is for like multiple devices. For that, I recommend APM, which is one of the tools. So I just wrote here. So this is something which is very efficiently, which very efficiently work for devices like iPad and your multiple mobile phones, majorly the mobile automation. So APM is one of the tool which I recommend.
All right. Oh, application under test. Thank you, Chris. I haven't used that term before. All right, let's see. For somewhat non-technical users or entry-level users, besides Code Generator, what resources do you recommend to get started learning how to use Playwright for automation?
Okay. So for entry level thing, like I think that they have a good and cool documentation. And apart from that, now as we have very simple things with installation, so we can like ourselves also we can go with this. Apart from that, now we have many videos on that. From there, we can learn step by step that how we can start with it. So as I told you guys that we need just three things: Node.js, code editor, and Playwright. Okay, so it is very easy to start from scratch, and it's not only for the technical people. We can learn it on fly.
All right, thank you. For locators, what is the best practice? Is Playwright locators reliable when data test ID is not available?
Yes, actually, the thing is that uh, it is one of the advantages you can say that comes with Playwright. But as we are using TypeScript here, and also we usually use Java for our automation tests, so we could say that we should more rely on CSS selectors and XPath. And the data test ID is something, yes, it usually changes. So we cannot rely completely, but it is one of the advantages which comes with Playwright.
All right. Does Playwright support wildcard names for class names?
Uh, well, I think this is something which, okay, I mean, I am not so sure about this wildcard names. Can you please explain a bit?
Yeah. In Selenium, you could specify like, partial names for classes with any regex. So like, if a class name star, right, it'll just find all the locators with that class name. I'm wondering if Playwright supports similar.
So for that, I would say yes. I mean, I haven't used it, but now when you explained it with regex, yes, it supports that.
Okay. Thank you.
For standalone application, is Playwright an option to use?
Yes, you can use it.
All right. All right. So how are the job opportunities for Playwright?
It is on demand. It is really on demand. It is the hottest tool in the market, and like it's been only 4 years that Playwright came into picture very widely. And if I talk like 2 years back, there were very less resources around Playwright. Nowadays, everyone has started their course on Playwright, especially in India. There are so many tutors which are doing good things with Playwright, and now we have many suggestions as well. But still, I have experienced that the companies are demanding the people who can create the frameworks using Playwright. So yeah, it is in very much demand if you have the knowledge of Selenium and if you have a little bit knowledge of Playwright, that is actually a big plus.
Yeah, I can add to that. So my company, we're using Playwright. We're migrating from Cypress to Playwright right now. And I've seen a lot of surveys where like, hey, which tool you're using right now? And Playwright is actually surpassing Selenium right now, like if by
Right.
the number of downloads. I think I posted it some time back. The downloads are now for Playwright are more than for Selenium. So it's definitely picking up very quickly. So I would definitely recommend learning it as well.
Second, that as my company also is now also converting to Playwright from Selenium, right?
Mhm.
Our front end is already TypeScript, so it just made that transition a lot easier. So yeah, like I said, it is the hottest thing on the market right now.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And the application which are on the languages like TypeScript, where the front end is working on TypeScript, it is uh, actually recommended to use Playwright with TypeScript. It works awesome.
Yep. We're using TypeScript with Playwright. Yep.
Yeah, same with us. And like I said, the like I think it was harder to do the I think we made a mistake doing Selenium first, and then we should have probably investigated Playwright a lot sooner. We did look into Cypress, and we almost started down that path, but I'm glad we didn't. I think converting to Playwright was the proper path.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any more questions, topics you guys want to discuss about the Playwright?
I have a question. The workers, right?
Yes.
Is that a way for Playwright to run multiple parallel tests at a time? And is that configurable?
Yes, actually, you can configure it in your Playwright config file, where you can provide the number of workers as 4, 5, 8 for your local tests. If you want to run it with Jenkins or any DevOps tool like GitHub Actions,
Yeah.
you can provide it there as well. And for GitHub Actions, there's an option to select. For Jenkins, you can pass it through .env.ci, something like this, and it can run. And while configuring your jobs in Jenkins, you can select how many workers you want, and you can select from there. So yes, it is a way to run multiple tests in parallel.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm curious, how many people on this call are using Playwright already? So now, Joe, you're starting, right?
Yeah,
Young-san?
we're converting, or we're just about halfway there already with a lot of the existing tests we have. So
No.
That's
Anyone
great.
else is using Playwright already? Looks like Young-san. All right. Okay. More questions? All right. Let's wrap this up then. Thank you, Sparsh, first of all, to lead the conversation. I thank you all for joining. It's amazing to have the community who asks questions and discuss the QA topics. That's why we're all here. Keep an eye out for our next meetups. We're going to be back in January with the more virtual meetups and some of the in-person meetups in Seattle. If you're in Seattle, please join us in person. We always have fun. We always have good discussions. And we are going to announce the conference date for next year soon as well. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you, everyone. Anna, do you have anything to add?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
thank you, Sparsh.
So yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you once again from my side. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Anna, for organizing this. And it was great to connect with all of you guys. So just keep learning. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.